showing off Thailand's tech startup industry as more than 40 international speakers and 20 startups gather at the Echelon Thailand 2014. See you there.
Hello and welcome to Phuket News TV. Well, today we're at AMCHAM here at Angsana Resort in Laguna. And it's an important meeting today because it's the first meeting really since there's been a lot of changes around Phuket. And right after this break, we've got an exclusive interview with David King right here on Phuket News TV.
Take your family, take your friends, or even take your colleagues on an extreme adventure. Climb a tree, swing freely from tree to tree, and enjoy walkways and other fun challenges. Call 076 383 689 or go to extremeadventuresphuket.com.
David, tell us about the new Phuket.
I think it's a very interesting question. I think that Phuket today is really at a crossroads. It's being driven by market forces rather than being a proactive destination. Phuket is, I'm going to start my presentation in a minute by explaining that Phuket is the largest resort destination in the world with no identity, with no consolidated identity. What that means is that the destination doesn't have the foundation to come together as one when issues such as the beaches, such as the cleaning of the beaches and the taxes, and coming together to source the right target markets and coming together to define itself to the world. Phuket is, whether it's how Thai is the destination, how un-Thai is the destination, it's driven to a degree by the markets that are coming into the island rather than by the people of the island itself, who deserve and should have the pride and recognition as being the stakeholders and the people that are driving tourism to Phuket.
Now, if it wasn't confusing before, you could argue that it's even more confusing now because of what's happened over the past 3 months. The removal of the beach chairs, the removal of the umbrellas, the removal of the beach clubs, all these things which are sort of partly iconic about the Phuket image. But Phuket tourists are now going to arrive and go, where's the beach clubs? Where are my beach lounges?
Right, but I think that, honestly, I believe that is a short-term problem, and Phuket and Thailand and Thais being as resilient as they are, they will find a solution. I don't believe, although one doesn't yet know what the solution is, that come November, come high season, and 1 million tourists coming from all over the world, coming to Phuket for the winter sun, are they really going to sit on towels on the beach? I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. But again, that all feeds into the need for a consolidated group, a group of stakeholders to be driving a direction, to control the development, to control land prices, to control mass tourism.
Who's that group?
I don't know. It's up to the tourism stakeholders. I can facilitate that group, but it needs to be the leaders of tourism. It needs, in my opinion, to come from private industry, because I believe that's the fastest and most effective way that in Thailand that change can be effective.
If I was going to ask David from Quo to tell me what the image of Phuket is, what would you say it is at the moment?
At the moment, it's haphazard. It depends. It really depends on the target market that you're talking to, and it depends on the stakeholder that you're talking to. If you're talking to a high-end visitor that's coming to a Trisara or to an Amanpuri or to the Banyan Tree or whatever it is, to one of the higher-end products, it's an entirely different Phuket than the tourist that's coming to Patong. And I think that's one of the critical problems that the island has had and has been sort of cascading towards this issue for many years.
And isn't that the headline, Phuket something for everyone?
It could be. It could be, but that lacks definition. Phuket needs to be, in my opinion, my personal opinion, and how I would drive it as Thailand's shining resort asset. The greatest, possibly one of the biggest and the greatest assets that Thailand has. It's Thai. It has the geographic diversity and magnitude and beauty that is unparalleled in any of the other great destinations in the world, perhaps Hawaii. But it has the gorgeous Thai people. It has amazing Thai food. It has the beaches. It's got all of these incredible assets, but they mean something different to everyone who you talk to.
In another 10 years' time, do you think Phuket will sort of remain as the main tropical destination in Asia, or are there other upstarts around the area that are going to take over?
Obviously there's Bali, and Bali is facing its own issues. Palawan in the Philippines, there's a lot of development going into Palawan in the Philippines. Obviously there's Langkawi, there's other places in Indonesia. There's Samui, which has its own spatial and other development issues. But Phuket is still by far the leader, and it needs to define itself.
David Keane from Quote, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you very much.
Bill Barnett from C9 Hotel Works. We're talking about the new Phuket today. What is the new Phuket?
I think that's the interesting. The interesting thing is, what is Phuket without the sun lounges? What is Phuket without the taxi issues at the airport? Where do we
beach
go
clubs.
Next? Yeah, exactly. So, have we reached a tipping point? The tipping point's interesting for us because the tipping point means an all new reality. So it's really what are tourists going to be thinking about this coming high season? Forum today, we're talking about AMCHAM, is what's next. It's what is Brand Phuket saying? What is the fundamental here, and is it going to be changing? So it's an exciting time, I think.
Can I ask you what you think the tourists are going to do when they rock up at Patong Beach and Surin Beach and go, where's my beach chair? Is this going to be good or bad for Phuket?
What do tourists eventually do in Hawaii? What do they do in Australia? They roll out a towel and they sit on the beach. This is, it wasn't sustainable. There wasn't any more room left on the beach. So at the end of the day, if Phuket wants to grow, it has to grow in a sustainable manner. It makes absolutely sense what happened.
Can I ask you to get out the crystal ball and look at Phuket in 10 years' time? How do you see Brand Phuket 10 years from now?
It's an urban, it's similar to what we see in Bali as well. This is an urban island. This is a city now. It's no longer an idyllic tropical island. So we're going to see an urban tourism destination. So there's lots of places around the world this works. We go to Hawaii, we see the same thing. So it's still Phuket, but it's a different Phuket.
Bill, thanks for talking to us.
Great, thanks so much.
Well, it's been a very topical topic here at AMCHAM today, hosted by Angsana. And a lot of people talking about this particular issue, and they'll be doing so for the next couple of months, because come tourist season, there are going to be a lot of tourists arriving here wondering what on earth has happened to Brand Phuket. Is the new brand a better Phuket? What's going to happen to the people that used to put out the lounges and the umbrellas and service drinks and the masseurs? A very interesting time for Brand Phuket. Thank you very much for joining us here at AMCHAM on Phuket News TV.
One luxury villa is up for private sale on the island. This spectacular residence is valued at 19 million baht, featuring a huge multi-purpose entertainment room with 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, an outdoor barbecue area, pool and much, much more. This stunning villa is in the Land and House Estate in Geelong. For more details, contact Martin at q-value.com or call 081 833 4795.